Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Alright, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Putri Yulinda Sari. My partners, there are Marcelina and Sari Rejeki Amalia. Yes, we are students from State Islamic Institute of Palangkaraya, and we are here want to interview you some questions about teaching. But however, before we start and dive more into it, may I know your full name, ma'am? Your name?
Ma'am, oh my God, you call me ma'am. Okay, it's
Oh,
okay. Okay, my name is Anjar Tanya, but you can call me Tanya, Mrs. Tanya. It's okay. You can call me Mrs.
Mrs. Tania, right? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Duduk
How are
sana,
you
duduk
doing
sana.
today, Miss?
I'm just I'm looking for a better signal to Zoom meeting with all of you.
All right. I hope that we can go through this interview perfectly today.
Okay.
May I know where do you teach as for now, Miss? Where do you teach?
I teach in junior high school SMP Sataport Lamandau.
All right, SMP. So this is junior high school. I see.
Yeah, the middle school.
Junior high school. All right. How many years you've been teaching in junior high school, Miss?
2017 until now. One, two, three,
And
four.
now
It's about 4 hours. 4 years.
4 years. Yes, 2017, right? And now, may you please tell us about yourself, like your teaching background or passion in teaching or whatever it is, please. Your background.
Okay, my name is Anjar Tanya, and I was born on November 16, 1993, and I was graduated on 2015, and now I'm a teacher. I'm teaching English lesson, and I have been teacher for 4 years. Mm, that's all.
All right. So you graduated in 2015 and start
Yes.
to teach in 2017, 16, 17,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yes. Because before I am buying a teacher, I just have some occupations before I am teaching.
Oh, may I know what is that? The occupation you mean?
Actually, being a teacher is my last goal. I mean, before I just being a teacher, I have two occupations before I am teaching English lesson. The first the first occupation is I just apply for a job in hotel as general relation officer, and I have been work at hotel about 1 to 3 7 months, and then I cannot handle the pressure when I just work there, and then I resigned from hotel, and then I moved to palm oil companies and as a general administrations. And then I just work at palm oil companies about 1 year, and then I moved to Lamandau because I have to get married. with my husband, and then now I just follow my husband to live in Kabupaten Lamandau. Now I am being a teacher is just my last goal.
Hmm. So your first occupation was work in a hotel, and after that you decided to work in the palm company. And the last
Yes.
one here now you're teaching. All right.
Yeah.
And now another question. Okay. All right. Another questions. Do you have any extracurricular skills besides teaching? Besides teaching,
Yeah.
what is it?
Of course.
Do you have?
Because a teacher is required to master anything that are intent to advance goals. And I have to responsible I just take a responsibility to handle the annual competitions at school, namely FLS2N. So in FLS2N, we have to prepare our students to and traditional dancing competitions and scouts, and I have to handle all the for my students to follow the competitions. So I have uh, to master all of the thing that be should be on the competitions, like singing, dance, traditional dancing. I have to teach the students how to dance in traditional, and then scouts. I have to mastery all of scouts thing, like the what is tali rope, yeah, how to
Yes,
tali
like
menali.
yeah,
Ah,
yes, that's
if you are a teacher, it means that you have to do anything.
so it means that you have some guidance. You need to guide your students in some competitions. So when they are in competition, so you need to comprehend and master singing, the scout. Wow,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Awesome.
it's a
All
must.
right, and now the next questions. This is about students in class. How do you usually engage all the students in your classroom? Like we know, right? In the classroom, there's sometimes there are naughty children, naughty child, naughty students, and sometimes there are students who are obediently follow your orders. So, how do you engage all those students in your classroom?
How uh, as we know that every students have a different uh, attitude, right? You cannot ex- expect that all your students is a good students. So you have to be a fun teacher first. You cannot be a serious teacher when you just enter the class and you bring your material to the students and you just bring your lesson in the class. So you have to flexible in the class. It means that you have to know the first thing that you have to do is you have to understand what is the curriculum that your schools adopt, and then you have to make a lesson plan, and then after you just understand all the curriculum and then your lesson plan, the syllabus, so your you have to uh, you have to know your students, your class. Is it a good class or is it uh, just average class? So you are a flexible teacher. you have to
So,
be a serious teacher sometimes when you just explain your material, and then you have to being a fun teacher when your student is needed it.
so by becoming a fun teacher, flexible, and you also know about your lesson plan. So
Yes.
that's what do you think about how do you engage all students? All right.
Yeah.
And now, what techniques do you use to keep the students from being disruptive and disengaged? What methods you usually use? Techniques.
Techniques lah. As
Yes.
we know that in our national curriculum and syllabus, we just have a recommended technique and method in K13 curriculum K13. We have some method or technique to teach in the class, and but we can apply the method or technique in all the school, because every school has a different facilities, and then has different uh, and the teacher has different capability. So it depends on you again. You have to be flexible. You cannot use one method to teach to the class because your students can accept it. So and you cannot just according to your lesson plan. You cannot just watch to your lesson plan, because you have to be flexible. It's I just sometimes I use scientific method. Sometimes I just use scientific method, and then learning by what is it, BG, learning by pictures, and then I u- I almost use all the method when I just teach in the class.
How about if your class being so noisy and you want them to focus and only put their attention only to you? How do you usually? Can you explain me about the methods more specifically?
Yeah. When the first time I see my students, when the first time they see me, I always make some rules. The first one is when I just explain the material or explain something, you have to listen. Don't do not say anything or do not talk about anything. And then after I explain it, you have to ask me if you don't understand that the rules. If you break the rules, you have to get the punishment. I just make that rules. So uh, the first uh, the first time I meet them, and then I give the rules to them, they will understand. And if I just enter the class, they will listen if I just explain something. And then after that, they can say anything if I don't explain something. That's make a rules. Sometimes you just need that way in the first time you meet them, because when you just meet them at the first time, they don't know you, and you don't know them. So it's kind of I mean, my rules is a success way to make them know me, to make them know my rules. That's
So you mean that it is to make things clear, right?
yeah.
And now, how do you make your lessons fun and engaging for the students? How do you make your lessons like that?
Yeah, sometimes the first thing you just do when you just enter the class is the first time you have to explain what is the material and then the purpose, and then what what will what will we do and in the chapters, and then you can follow the situation and conditions. I mean, we can use some ice breaking when the condition is get some serious. Use ice breaking, and then you can uh, make some games, and then you can use some jokes to your students. Some that simple way.
Well, you, in your opinion, the way to make class seem more fun and engaging is to give them break, games, and breaking,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
All right. And now, how do you deal with things if the students aren't progressing in the lesson as you hope for? If the students are not progressing at all in your classroom, what would you do?
If my students is not really progressive with my lesson, mm, I think it's okay. It doesn't matter. Wait, belok yang. I think it doesn't matter as long the students has passions to study hard. Ah, wait. Boleh. Okay, I think it doesn't matter for me because uh aduh, pening kepalaku. Pelan-pelan bayang. I just I am on the way because the car is
All right, it's okay. It's okay.
uh back to the questions. It doesn't matter as long as the students have passions to study hard, and students want to uh yeah the students want to catch their future. It doesn't matter for me, and that's the teacher's job. The teacher support the students, must give them mental support and tell them that you cannot success if you don't have a good in academies, but you can wait. It's okay for me. It doesn't matter.
So with support them. So you hope
Yes.
that they can be more progressing with their lesson. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
As long as they just have a good passion to study hard and a good passion to carry for me.
All right. Well, now it is uh, it is the turn for my partner to ask you questions because I have asked some of my questions. So please, Marcelina, you can ask your question.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Putri. I have some question for Miss Tania. The
Yeah.
question is, how strong is your understanding of the national curriculum and syllabus?
How strong I am? Mm, of course. Wait. The car is turning left. Hah? Ini nggak bisa, lagi ngobrol. How strong I am. Understand the curriculum and syllabus. Okay, as we know, we just have a national curriculum and syllabus. So, as a teacher, before we enter the class, and then before we teach our lesson, you must. So if you ask me how strong I am, I will answer, I got the curriculum and syllabus.
Okay. The next question
Got it?
is, yes, I got it. Yes. The next question is, how does your degree relate to the national curriculum and syllabus requirements?
How does my degree? Hmm, wait. Berhenti di sini kah? Okay. Wait. Wait a second. Okay. Turunlah. Tadi apa pertanyaannya? What's the questions?
How does your degree relate to the national curriculum and syllabus requirements?
Okay. I would not be a teacher if my degree was not qualified. If my degree is not qualified to teach in school. So being a teacher is tough enough. I mean, being a teacher is hard. It's quite hard because we must understand what method that we use in when we just make a lesson plan and we just enter the class, what technique that we use to the students, to different students. So if my degree is not qualified, so I cannot be a teacher and teaching the students.
Yes, I got
Yes.
it. Are there any areas in the national curriculum and syllabus that you feel you have any weaknesses in?
Uh, the areas, what?
Any areas in the national curriculum and syllabus that you feel you have any weaknesses in?
Oh, of course. We only have one national curriculum and syllabus that all the schools in Indonesia should follow. Actually, it applied in all the schools in Indonesia because of what? Because we have a different facilities. The first facilities, and then we have a different teacher capability, and then I cannot. I also cannot cover the 100% the curriculum and syllabus to cover all the students in my school because I am a teacher in a small village, and my schools has facilities that the far below standard. I mean, the standard is not it's not quite good to follow the national curriculum right now. So of course, I have any weakness like if the student should search some materials on the internet, but the schools has no facilities like that.
Mm, I got it. And then, how would you connect the curriculum content with current event to make the lesson more accessible to students?
Okay, how I connect the curriculum with the current events. In this national curriculum, students are not only required to be able to understand the meaning of the material, but also the students have to have a good score in attitude and social thing. So I always bring the current events and the new news that happen in Indonesia to the class, so they can understand what happened in Indonesia, and then related to the material that I bring to the class. Usually, it's can help you to make a students more aduh, pelan-pelan mbak beloknya. Wait. The driver is crazy. Uh, Sometimes I just bring the current events to my material in the class, so the students can more active and more have something like passion to study about what happened around them.
Okay, I'm sorry. I would like to tell that is the remaining time of this meeting only for 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay,
Kepanjangan jawaban.
the next question is, how would a typical lesson plan look like for you?
How the lesson plan look like for me? I think the lessons that are applied from the central ministry are pretty good right now, but it all depends on the state of school. I mean, the school in the city can follow and cover all the lesson and material that bring by the curriculum. But next.
Next question is, how do you think today's lesson went? What was good and what could have gone better?
The lesson went today,
Uh,
especially to my school.
yes. Uh, what was good and what could have gone better?
Okay. Uh, the lesson went today is quite difficult to my school. I mean, the lesson that the ministry applied is pretty good to all the school in the city, but it's quite difficult to my school in a small village.
Okay. How do you assess the student? Day-to-day method or summative method?
They They method.
Then, how do you monitor students' progress and ensure the curriculum is fully covered?
using tryout by using tryout and make a rubric indicator.
And then the last question is, if I walk into your classroom during one of your typical lessons, what should I see?
You can see me, of course, as a teacher, and then you can see my students in a group, but they just discuss something about something, and then you will see a crowded class because they discuss with fun, and they have so much fun during my class. That's when you just uh, entered my classroom.
Okay,
And then you will see my student present their presentations, and then they just give a questions, and then the group that presented, they will give us the conclude of the material that they present.
okay, thank you for your answer.
Yes.
Pardon me, I have one last question. Can I ask it?
Okay.
All right. This is the last question. May you please describe or tell us about your ideal classroom? Can you describe your ideal classroom, please?
Ideal classroom. Every I think every teacher has their ideal classroom, their dream classroom, but it will never happen because of what? Because in every class they will want students that will destroy your ideal classroom, right? If you just dream about the ideal classroom, it will never happen. I tell you, because uh, there is a students that will destroy your dreams, and they will work very hard on your dreams. But if you ask me what is my ideal classroom, I will answer activities, and then have all the students are active, and the students are understand what is my what the material that I explain to them. That's my ideal classroom, but it will never happen.
So that's all the criteria for your ideal classroom. Yeah, I know that
Yes.
every teacher wants ideal classroom, but it almost sounds impossible, right? It's hard, difficult. It's hard to become true. I know it. All
Sure.
right. All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Tania. Thank you for
Okay.
your answers for our questions. We are so grateful, and I'm sorry for taking much of your precious time. I hope you don't mind it. All right.
Okay.
That's
Thank you very much.
yes. All right. Thank you very much. All right. We are so grateful. And the last, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.